Now, I've traveled to around 60 countries while basically building my business from a laptop. And if I actually had to build a lifestyle business again in 2025 with zero team, zero product, no brand, this is exactly how I'd actually do it. Basically with one offer, 4 hours a day, and 70 to about 100K a month USD in profit. Basically from a city where your cost of living is 1/4 the price of, let's say, London or New York, and where your quality of life is also a lot better than those two cities. This is actually the modern business blueprint. Now, it basically consists of the 3 lifestyle business pillars. The first one that we actually have here is time, right? So you want to actually protect what is called your 4-hour zone, right? Let me actually mark it here. Now, every day, I actually block off 4 hours for deep, high leverage work. It's not 12, it's not 8, it's just 4. And inside that zone, I actually do a couple things here. The first one is that I mainly focus on recording content. So focus on creating engaging and informative content to expand reach and also get more clients. Next to that, I improve the systems around that, right? So enhance operational efficiency by refining the existing processes such as like hiring, maybe even firing, SOPs, onboarding automations, and seeing what the issues are and where we're spending most of our time right now. Then we're going to come up with a strategy to basically solve that as well. So develop a long-term plan to basically guide future actions and goals toward those goals. We're going to review KPIs, so briefly assess performance metrics to ensure alignment with objectives. So for example, how much are we spending on ads? How much are we getting in return? How much time are we spending on the content? How much are we getting in return from that? Looking at everything because data is key. In these 4 hours, it's not really any slack, right? No reactive task, no quick calls, because this is where the business grows. This is like the deep work zone. And the rest of my day, honestly, I spent on the things I love doing. So for example, training and physical exercises is very good for personal well-being. Otherwise, you just end up with a bunch of brain fog. I write a lot of music and produce a lot of music. So creative expression through musical composition. This is actually one of the 2 home studios that I have here in my house here in Medellin, Colombia. At the end of the day, or I just try to get an hour here and there and to basically focus on music and just get that creativity out. And this goes hand in hand with the event setup. So I organize and prepare for upcoming events, which hundreds of people come to. And these are great places where we've done a lot of insane networking. Next to that, I also try to get outside, get in touch with nature, walk the dog. I have a very nice samoyed. I'll show you that and also the events that we do later on in this video and some pictures of that. And at the end of the day, I try to take some time to relax and recharge, try to do another activity, maybe have a massage, go to the movies, see a movie. We actually have a movie theater here in our house, or get inside the steam room, sauna, or chill by the pool, watch the sunset. And the thing is that Medellin makes all this super, super easy. We pay around 15K a month, but my part is about 2.5K a month for a gated villa, which you can see here. This is my backyard, private. Includes 3 housekeepers. The food is super fresh. The weather is amazing, almost always. The people are super kind, which is something that I haven't really seen anywhere else in like one of the Western countries like the US or Europe a lot. You see a lot of like mixed feelings. You don't need a penthouse in New York to live like a king, right? Because a house like this in New York would probably be above 100K, especially in Manhattan a month. This is me by the pool, and this is my dog, Ramen. It's basically like a samoyed. Now, second, what's very important, basically for this lifestyle and this business, is a solid team, right? And this is actually going to piss off a lot of the so-called like skill bros. By the way, don't be a skill bro. But my business actually runs on like a 4-person team, which profits more money than actually most big skill bros businesses, claiming they actually do like $1 million a month in top line. And then I look at their profit margins and it's actually lower than our business. Basically what ours look like is we have one CEO that's a creative lead and sales manager that basically manages 1 sales rep and 1 ops person CSM with an executive assistant that does all of the small tasks for the CSM, often hybrid with client success and does all the fulfillment and delivery for our clients. And that's it. We're not grinding like 60 hours a week, but everything we do does compounds, right? We have 1 SOP, for example, that's 30 hours saved, like a sales field guide to ramp up our new sales reps. 1 YouTube video could basically get like 10 inbound leads, and 1 VSL could have dozens of pre-qualified buyers and appointment bookings from that, for example, YouTube video. So it all works together and it's not a bunch of different verticals and offers, because the goal is leverage, not more labor. Like founders don't burn out because of work. They burn out because they're just doing the wrong work without purpose or without anything that's actually going to move the needle forward. With those 4 players, with 1 mission, once it's actually set up correctly, you'll have compounding efforts because of the SOPs, videos, and VSLs that actually save your team time and headaches as well. Much chiller work and they won't leave. Leverage over labor, same goes for your team. So your team has to focus on leverage, not excessive labor. So they kind of have to work the same way as you. It's not just you that works this way as I'm showing you, but also your team. And it doesn't lead to like wrong work burnout, because if they are doing repetitive tasks and shit that they're not liking to do, or or just very unnecessarily work, your people will either leave or ask you for a raise because they just can't deal with it. So they want to get paid more for it as well because they just don't love it. Now that's that. After this basically comes your offer, right? Which needs to be built for skill, not per se for stress, right? And it seems like very cliche and very straightforward, but you'll actually be surprised how many people miss this, especially as they're growing their business and scaling it. There's just a lot of like small things that you forget about, and there's a lot of new things that you sometimes just have to unlearn and get back to the basics. So the productization is the key to actually a sustainable business. Now, basically, again, here's the formula. You want a high ROI for your client, right? Your client gets a fat and good return. How do we actually do that? You want to make sure that you actually have a repeatable system and a system that can actually be replicated. A system that can be replicated doesn't really need to have the founder involved too much, right? Because once the founder is involved too much, things are just not going to grow and the business is always going to stagnate. I've always seen it happen. If this is missing, and let's say you're doing custom solutions, the founder has to be involved even more, right? Because now you're going to basically run into all these new scenarios that you haven't run into, and only the founder can basically solve those. So we want to stay away from custom solutions because it will actually lack scalability and you'll actually be restricted to scale. And now you're involved daily. The best thing to do, just have repeatable systems that don't involve the founder too much. The rest, cancel. If it's custom, basically you're just a freelancer. We don't want to be a freelancer. If it's not scalable, you're capped. If it depends on you every day, you're trapped. My offer, just systems and infrastructure for entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs. We build it once and then we deliver it through framework. And on top of that, for all of this, we have automated onboarding, delivery, and support. And if you don't have something simple like this, like I just basically showed you in 3 sentences, most founders, what I notice is, are just one bad week away from an absolute collapse. But when your offer is actually productized, clear, and designed for icing scale, you win every single time because you haven't made it too complex for yourself to basically get into too many other problems. That's why people keep saying like, hey, simplicity just scales. Now you're probably wondering at this point, like how I'd rebuild if I start from scratch in 2025. And let's say I lost it all tomorrow. Here's the 30-day plan I'd follow to actually build to $10,000 a month fast. First, in week 1, I'd actually identify the one pain that you solve better than anyone else. Now for us, it's kind of like a niche, and you always want to pick a niche as well. It's very important. For example, for us, like I target overwhelmed solopreneurs who want to use AI but don't know how, because in this day and age, you'll actually be surprised how many people don't know AI. If you're watching these videos, you probably know a little bit about it because there's just so many videos on it right now, and the amount of people that are catching up right now is exponentially up. But there's still a massive amount of people that are not watching these videos and are not implementing this, right? So I basically focus on that. Now week 2, I'd craft a clear outcome-driven offer, right? Just like a one-liner, come up with a one-liner. For an example, we build your AI infra system for you that actually books 20 to 35 appointments per month on autopilot so that you never miss a lead again. Of course, you need to add a niche. It's very, very important. Then what I do is I would create actually 4 high-value videos. So try to solve the problem on camera and then post 2 times a week on YouTube, Instagram, or X. Kind of like what we're doing in this video. Basically, I have my iPad here, I'm drawing it out, and I'm trying to explain it to you as well. And then week 4, I'd set up a no friction calendar funnel. I mean, you can even do this in week 3. It's super simple to do. Basically like a VSL book and call. VSL doesn't have to be super long, by the way. It could be like an indirect VSL of like 5 minutes. The videos like this are going to do most of the heavy lifting for you. And once they book a call, basically like a thank you page, like, hey, go to your inbox, accept the calendar invite, and watch these videos before the call so that when they get on the call, they know a lot about you already and they're actually going to show up on the call. And with this, you don't really even need paid ads for the first 10K month, maybe 20, maybe even 30. It's just pure outreach via like your videos. And on top of that, you can always add in like Facebook ad library if you have like certain clientele that you're trying to go after. And that's it. No agency, no logo, no CRM, no excuses. It's simple and quick. Build, publish, sell, and deliver. It's almost like shaping a diamond here. You start off with 0 revenue, right? No income, no systems in place. Then you identify a niche, like a solopreneur AI pain. You craft an offer around that, like an AI automation, and you create videos about that and how you make those automations and how you actually deliver for your clients. And because people are watching, you need to set up a funnel for them to actually book a call with you, which helps you get the $10,000 a month in clients. Now it's very simple. And again, it looks like almost like crafting a diamond. And I try to make it look as simple as possible, simply because it is, which basically comes down to the lifestyle blueprint. Because look, I didn't fall into this life. I basically set everything in place so that my life will eventually look like this. I built it. Here's basically what it looks like right now. I live in this villa again with full staff, right? That cooks for me, cleans for me, takes care of my dog and everything else. I wake up, run with my dog, and also my protein shakes already made. I DJ shows on the weekends. I record music at night just to get my creativity outlet out there. And I host events that hundreds of people show up to, right? As you can see in some of these pictures, this was actually one of them that we did here in the jungle outside of Medellin, Colombia. It's a funny picture of one of our DJs and producers that we hired from Sweden. And he stayed with us for a week. We just made a bunch of music. Some of our music events on these amazing rooftops or day to night parties where I'm DJing right here. It was just been great for networking and meeting with insanely super good entrepreneurs, because it's like almost like a dinner to like club experience, like high end, which has been extremely good for us to network with some incredible minds. And here's my dog Ramen. I have lived in New York. As you can see right here, this is like a Halloween party in Soho. This is me actually at Soho House. I did all the nice things in London. Private driver, Maybach, was going through Chinatown, eating some incredible Asian food. Cold as fuck, but not a big issue when you got time, freedom, and money in these cities. And we tried Bali, had a villa, but we were just far away from everything. It was kind of fucked. We looked at some like nature parks, and of course it was super nice and incredible scenery, but the saying is true, everyone walks there almost on bare feet, right? It's just kind of like a weird vibe in my opinion. And then we have South Africa, extremely beautiful. We actually did a DJ set here, which actually went viral on YouTube. And that was the first moment when we really got into DJing, right? Which is super, super cool. I don't know what happened here with my pencil, but whatever, who cares? And this is kind of like the villa that we were staying at for a little bit, and we visited with some of our friends. Also super, super cool. So I've traveled the world and lived in most of these places, and then one of them, which I also absolutely love, is Brazil. We get like yachts every other weekend, and we'd hang out with like new friends that we would meet there as well, all over Brazil. Over all of this, I still choose Medellin, and that's just because the pace is super calm and the margins are extremely high, right? Because of the cost of living, of course, as well. The energy is super creative, and the cost of living actually gives you a 5x lifestyle of half the price compared to, let's say, a London, Miami, or New York, especially if you're starting out a business, right? Which I was during all these photos. If this is the vision that actually speaks to you, not just profit, but profit with peace, you don't need to figure it out all yourself. I've actually already built the infrastructure for you, and I mapped out exactly how this actually works, from the offer to the funnel to the delivery engine. So here's what you should watch next. Like one of the videos that will pop up here on the screen is called like the most valuable systems training you'll ever watch, or maybe another video we'll watch will pop up on your screen based on your recommendation. But this video is basically like a full breakdown of the backend I used to actually run for 100K a month business with just 4 hours a day, so that you can actually copy it or build it on your own without paying me anything. So yeah, just click here anywhere on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one, and peace.